I'm Molly here with Rose City RV of Michigan, and today we're going to take a look at the Coachmen 190 RBS. Is this the correct model for you, you may ask? Here are 5 key specifications to help you decide. This model can sleep up to 4 people, has an overall weight of 3,743 pounds, has an overall length of 22 feet 7 inches, a height of 10 feet 2 inches, and features 1 slide out. So let's take a look inside. Okay, welcome inside. The first thing I want to point out in this model is the all-new Stargazer. They've been doing this for about a year now. And I know what you're thinking, that's just another place for something to leak. But hear me out for a minute. This is windshield glass. It's got a DOT number, so it is approved and tested. It's double layer as well, so there's an inner layer and an outer layer. It's got a UV protectant on it. So all in all, the first question I asked was exactly that. How many issues have you had? They've only had 2. So that's a plus. Now, it's really cool because you can open this up and get fresh air. You can just lay in your bed and look outside. These little gray buttons, if you're wondering how to use this, don't forget to do that. If you just pull on this handle, you'll break it. So you just got to push in that little gray button, turn the handle there. And the handles work really nice and smooth. I was really happy with the way this felt. So turn these, and we just push it open like so. And you get that nice fresh air. The cool thing is you can have a screen over that at night too. So if it's obviously you want to have that closed, but if you are sleeping and you don't want that sunlight through, you do have shade options. And then you do have this really cool screen as well. So you can keep that open. You don't have to worry about the bugs getting at you. Just one thing I thought about that we haven't encountered yet is with that open, the bugs can get on this screen, and then when you go to close it, you'd obviously have to get them off there. But at least you have an option. You can keep it open, keep that screen, allow that air to move through there. If you rustic camp like myself, that's a super nice thing. You could turn on the bathroom fan and let that air just draw through there. That would almost be better than air conditioning in a lot of circumstances. So that's a pretty cool feature. Then it just pulls down. Handles are nice and smooth, and it's locked up. So that's the Stargazer. We have it in a handful of models. If it's not your thing, that's fine. You can get these without that. I love the light that it allows in here. A lot of times these smaller units don't have a lot of windows because it's just there's nowhere to put them. But this unit does a good job with that. Window, huge window, big light coming straight down here, dual side windows here. So lots of daylight in here, which is a huge thing. Again, especially when you're rustic camping, you don't want to have to turn the lights on all the time. In the daytime, we wouldn't need them at all. So that's super nice. Now, this is a slide, obviously. We got a booth dinette slide in here. You can sleep 2 people in there. I always say if you're going to sleep people on a booth, typically it's kids. They're shorter in length, or one adult kind of crossways you could get away with. Then we have our bed up here with some storage underneath, and then pass-through storage on the outside, which we'll show you out there. Dual hanging next to the bed, hanging space next to the bed here. And they give you a shelf, so if you're not hanging clothes there and you want to just fold them and put them there, you can do that. And then some storage above. And then next to the bed, you have some storage on each side. That's what, like I said, the pass-through, but you've got outlets as well, so 12-volt and 110 outlets for CPAPs and such, or charging devices, whatever you need to do. One thing I noticed too about Coachmen, they do not short you on any outlets. So outlet here even. I like that. You know, you gotta have space on your countertop there to have your coffee pot or whatever and a place to plug it in. Now, they went to a 2-burner here. That could be a benefit, I'll be honest with you. I'm somebody who uses my cooktop, and nobody ever uses 3 burners at once, so 2 is plenty. Gives you that extra counter space. They eliminated the oven on this model, and they put the microwave in its place. It's nice to have the microwave low. One thing people don't realize until they get using them, a lot of people are not super tall. You put that microwave way up, like especially in 5th wheels, and a lot of people can't even reach them, have to get a stool just to use the microwave. So I do like it in that low position. Most people, I'll say the oven is the #1 unused appliance. Most people just use it as storage anyway, so I don't mind that they went without it. I personally like an oven. I have used mine a couple times, but I think I could go either way, with or without, and still be just fine. Underneath of there, we have our furnace. That's not going to be ducted just because this coach is so small and it's right in the middle. Don't really need any ducting for that. There might be a side port here. Nope, they didn't even do that, which is fine. All that heat's going to come right out of there, and that furnace will cook you out of here if you leave it on. So that won't be an issue. Then we've got some drawer space and some cupboard space. Really, for how small this unit is, it's really not lacking in the kitchen department either. You've got 1, 2, 4 drawers, 2 cabinets here, 3 cabinets, and then 3 more up top. So 6 total cabinets and 4 total drawers. That's quite a bit for a smaller unit like this. And then additionally, underneath of the dinette here, we have storage on both sides. They do this a lot, but it is nice to have all this storage located right there. That's our sink top cover, which goes in the farmhouse sink. I like that they've also made sinks without the intersection anymore. You can wash a pot and pan and not fight it with the sink. It's nice and large, so I do like that. Also, big window over the sink on that campsite side, so you're able to see out there easily. And then moving over here, we have our 12-volt refrigerator. So this is going to be a little bit smaller one, but that's fine. It's still bigger than the old gas electrics. Then we have our converter located right underneath of there. And then next to that, we have our CO2 and propane detector and another 110 outlet. Like I said, they don't short you on outlets. And then I didn't say it before, but this is your converters where all your fuses and your breakers are located. And then we have our thermostat. This is just going to be for the furnace. The air conditioner itself is going to have the controls right on top. You're going to see that. And then when I was talking about the Stargazer, I was talking about turning on a fan to help circulate this air. I didn't even realize there's a max fan right here. These max fans move a ton of air. Obviously this fan is huge, but it's 12 volts, so if you're an off-grid person, you have no issues running that. Open that, turn this baby on, and it will be nice and cool in here, and you'll get that nice steady air movement. So that's nice. I would not go without a max fan in anything if it were up to me. And did they get the bumper in the right spot? They did. So one thing I like about Coachmen, like I said, they don't leave out the little details. They give you enough outlets, and even they put that bumper on the fridge so you're not banging into that fridge, which I know seems like a little detail, but most manufacturers and most brands would miss that. So I like that they do that. Now into the bathroom here, we've got a Thetford toilet here. This is going to be a plastic toilet, but it does feel better than the Dometic ones. I'm not gonna lie, that sound like a pop can when you sit on them. Inside the bathroom here, we have our monitor panels located right here. Our on-demand water heater function right there, so you can control that temperature right next to the shower. I like that option because when you're using that, you're going to want to go to your desired setting and go all hot, which I think we've done another video on that. So we'll link that there as well. And then tank heater on and off. So we do have 12-volt tank heaters on this coach, so you can extended camp in that early spring and late fall time. Shower's pretty basic here. We've got a curtain, hot and cold. Not much you need to know there, but it is big enough, at least for a full-size human. And then you got this extra added 6 inches of height there for the tall people. And then, again, no shortage of storage in this model. Lots of bathroom space here for towels and such. Another drawer here, so they don't short you. Wherever they can give it to you, they do, which is nice. And then GFI outlet there, so your outside and kitchen plugs are going to be on that. Next to the door here, we have a little bottle opener, just kind of a nice added touch. I can't believe how often we use our bottle opener. Just one thing you forget. Another outlet here. And then up here, you're going to see we have on-off, slide-out controls, and then on-in controls. And then they give you a Bluetooth speaker as well. So you can power that up inside or outside to keep the party going for you. And these actually sound much better than the old traditional one. Okay, welcome outside here. We're going to look at the pass-through storage. So if you remember, this goes underneath of the bed. Decent amount of storage for how small the trailer is. We've got the cool glow light switch there on the front, just kind of gives your campsite that little pop. Then we have our solar voltage regulator located right next to that. So that's how we control that so we're not overdoing it on the battery. And then you can see there's a decent amount of storage there also. Now, moving down here, we have a little rail here so you can put your cooktop on there and the griddle cooktop. And you can use that when you're camping. We also have the 110 outlet located here. So if you want to run anything additional, they always get a little sealer on there. The furnace exhaust is located right here. Just remember, don't put anything in front of that. Aluminum rims with the Goodyear Wrangler tires, that's going to give you a little bit more ground clearance, and that's also going to give you a just a better quality tire. The Goodyear tires are definitely going to be the better option. Looking up at the coach from this direction, you can see we have a full length awning that goes the full length here, so you're not getting shorted on the awning either, and you also have that nice LED light. Solid step. Everybody's pretty much doing that now, but obviously that's included. In the rear here is our on-demand water heater, so that's where that's located. Back here. Now if you look up, we have our Lippert on the go ladder. We've done a video on that, so you can check that out if you're interested. Next to this we have our observation camera mount here. So it's already pre-wired. All you got to do is get that camera and pop it in. They've also Furrion's came out with a newer camera that gives you more screen, better viewing angle, and is a better price. So that's nice. We can link that also. And then our license plate bracket and light. And then on our off door side here, typically this is where all your connections are. I like that they put the power cable right here. Usually that's closest to the post. The less amount of electrical cable you need, the better off you are. Then we have our cable satellite hookup, so if the park offers you that or you add that yourself, you can hook up straight to there. And then our city water connection and our black tank flush located right there. We've kind of gone over that a few times. Just make sure you don't get the two of these mixed up. I like that they do a different color there to help you realize, hey, this is not maybe the right one. And then we have a hot and cold here on the exterior shower. This is another underused RV component. This is super handy. I don't understand why people don't use these more. Whether you have an animal, little kids, whatever, or you actually want to take an outside shower, but it's not designed just to take an outside shower. You might want to rinse your feet. You might want to fill a tub for outside dishwashing, whatever that may be, but you have hot and cold water outside. So that's nice. I think people should use that more than they do. They just don't think of it. Then we have our sewer outlet connections here. And then behind that we have our manual stabilizers. This unit has manual stabilizers. Okay, our slide box is here. And then coming along we have our freshwater fill. So if you want to use that onboard tank, you can pop the hose right in there and fill up that tank. And this gravity fill allows you to fill up at the campsite if you only have a 5-gallon jug or whatever if you run out. Then underneath there we have our big, large freshwater drain. Okay, then we also have the other side of our pass-through there, along with our 30 amp cable. This unit is 30 amp, only has one air conditioner and only needs one air conditioner. It also does have a solar panel, so it is equipped with solar and ready to go. They do call these Nano off-grids. Do you have to use this that way? No, absolutely not. But it is a cool little package here with the Stargazer and the larger tires. So moving around to the front, we have a front fiberglass cap with our windshield front glass here. The Coachmen famous dog up there just looks really nice and clean. And that fiberglass front cap just kind of gives it that better look, along with this rock guard here on the bottom. So that way when you're driving, especially if you're using it off-grid and down those dirt and rocky roads, you're not banging up the front cap because they cut that off there for that reason. So that's going to be it for our 190. If you've got questions, let us know. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more RV videos like this.